seeing all of you. Yeah, Barb. Woo! Oh my goodness. All right. I know you're all dying to know, what is this big announcement? What is it that I'm going to tell you all? It's like I hold all the power right now. It's so great. Okay, well, I just wanted you all to show up so I could look at your pretty faces. That's really what it's about. But I want to thank you all for coming and joining on and jumping on tonight. When I started this Facebook group just a little over a year ago, really, I had no idea that it would grow to what it's become. And it's so exciting to just continually see it growing with all these new faces every day. The support, the love, the accountability, the knowledge, and the friendships that I'm seeing forming, which is crazy, like the friendships between you ladies. It blows my mind. And it makes me so happy. There's no greater joy than to see women empowering, supporting, and lifting other women up. It's just such an amazing gift to see. And in these last few months, since the launch of the audiobooks, I didn't start off originally with an audiobook. This group has really grown exponentially because it's given people a chance to come in at the group when I had the $5 offer, just at $5. And we've had women go through the course and be successful, like Melissa, on just $5. And that actually feels really great, to know that that's possible for people, particularly in this time when things are really crunched and we've got COVID going on and finances are difficult for a lot of people. So it's a wonderful feeling to know that I can provide that for people. So as I'm seeing this group growing, I am seeing leaders emerge among you. And one in particular today, someone right here among you today in this group, and seeing this, it really got me thinking like, I think iKickSugar needs a program to highlight these exceptional women. So hence that I've created an ambassador program to go along with that. So I also feel it's so important because as I'm seeing this happening, I want there to be an assurance among all of you in the group, and it's growing so big, we're over 600 plus now women. I want to assure all of you that advice that's being given, the support, the knowledge, that it's being vetted by me and that these women have my stamp of approval, that I know what they're saying out there because they're kind of speaking on behalf of me and the program. So what does the ambassador program look like and what does an ambassador look like? What is this program that I concocted in my head? Well, the iKickSugar ambassador is a woman who is defining a new norm with her health and happiness. She is a woman who's taken control of her life and she owns her power. She fearlessly leads by example, inspiring and supporting others in our tribe every day. So this is a woman who embodies the IKS philosophy of progress, not perfection. I think you hear that a lot with me, that is the key here. Okay, let me say it again, progress, not perfection. And as a type A personality who was like an OCD clean freak, who's all about perfection, 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 I learned finally in my late 40s that was just, it was not real. That perfection that's death. It's not about that. So again, she has that philosophy and she's a shining example of that. And she's also a shining example of what self-love looks like, because that's the other key to kicking sugar, right? It really stems from us loving ourselves and getting comfortable in our own skin, being able to look in that mirror into your eyes, your best friend, and say, I love you. I love you, Joyce. I think you're awesome. And that each of you should be able to say that to yourselves every day. So with each ambassador, I also feel, as you know, I am really big into, it all starts, everything I do, with authentic relationships. That's why each ambassador must begin by declaring her sugar-free freedom and her involvement in this private group. So when you're an ambassador, it means that you're not just another tribe member, but you're an extension of the brand, of me, an extension of this community, and an extension outside of this tribe into your community at home and where you live and who you engage with. So that's really key there. Now, the really fun part about this program for me is when you get chosen as an ambassador, it isn't just a title with the program, you get some extra perks. I think you all know that I love swag. It's like my favorite thing. Just want to give swag away, but you can't really make a business doing that. So, of course, it's only fitting that an ambassador is going to get some perks. And I'm going to be sharing some of that with you today. As an ambassador, like to give you an idea, she's going to get developmental tools, experiences, one-on-one Zoom coaching, and just time with me. She gets special swag and perks, as I mentioned, I'm going to show to you. And she just gets to belong to a network of like-minded people and score a humongous cheer squad, which is amongst all of you. So you are the ones. So let me just tell you, I couldn't have asked for a better first ambassador, because yes, I am going to announce her tonight. I am so excited. I've just been waiting and busting at the seams for this evening. She's a woman in our community who's familiar and constant daily in our tribe. You're constantly seeing her. She's always there to jump in, support, and answer questions, provide motivation and inspiration. She's proud of the course and she shares it outside of the group with others, and she spreads the words and has invited actually many, many women to come on board and join and get the course and start and belong to the tribe as well. So she's really motivated and excited about her journey, and it's just spilling out with her excitement, and she's living the example, and people are asking her, what are you doing? What's going on? So this woman, she's fearless, she's courageous, and she's not afraid to work hard. She's compassionate, she's strong, determined, she's kind and gentle and smart, very intelligent, and above all, she's serving. And she's been serving to me, she's been serving to all of you. I love this woman. So excited. I'm about to announce her here. Without further ado, I would like to introduce to you our very first I Kick Sugar ambassador of the I Kick Sugar tribe, Dawn Wilkerson. Yay! Yay, Dawn.
Thank you. You're making me cry over here. Lexi told me, don't cry.
Lexi, or Alex, as she likes others to go by, is her daughter. And we're going to make it official. We have a surprise for you. So Lexi, I think, has got something really exciting to share with you. So come on in. Maybe Dawn, stand up so we can see this. Okay. Yeah, why don't you, Dawn, stand up and step back there with Lexi.
Okay.
Get a really good full-on view. Yay! All right. Dawn, congratulations. You just got hopefully the biggest check you ever got ever.
This is huge.
The first ambassador. Now I know that's probably not the biggest check amount you've ever gotten, but
it's the biggest check.
Exactly, and that's why I did it.
I love it.
To say you got the biggest check ever from I Kick Sugar for being the first inaugural ambassador.
I love it. Thank you.
You are so welcome. I am so excited and honored to have you as an ambassador. So let me ask you, when you purchased the course, the I Kick Sugar course, and you joined the Facebook group community, did you think that you'd be inducted into this exclusive tribe of women and be the first ambassador?
Absolutely not. Actually, when I first signed up, I just kept thinking, I can't do it. I can't, I had that mindset of, I just can't, but I got to do something. So I'll prove her wrong that I can't do it.
Good for you. I'm glad you did. And how do you feel now? How does it feel?
About the ambassador or about sugar free? What are we talking?
All of it. Well, how does it feel to be the ambassador, getting your big check? Now the $250, that's for you to do. I'm giving that as, obviously you can use it however you want. There's always like, oh, you could use it on a new pair of sneakers, a new workout outfit, something healthy, some awesome food, some, a deep fryer. I don't know, not a deep fryer, an air fryer, a hot fryer. We don't want a deep fryer. You can use it to pay bills too, but I hope you use it for fun because you deserve it. And now more than ever, it's like we need these little perks to have fun. So I hope you enjoy it.
Absolutely. I have a feeling Miss Lexi Lou will probably go with me shopping, and I can get some more workout clothes since I'm
There you go.
pretty much living in them now.
Awesome. And I'm going to be depositing that money into your PayPal account. So that's coming after tonight's call.
Yeah.
So your journey to iCake Sugar and prior to iCake Sugar has really been amazing. I've had the, honor to be able to hear it, firsthand and walk you through it because you did the 8-week live intensive when I was offering it, you and 2 other women. So it was a small group of 4 women total. And you were in there. If you don't know, any of you, the 8-week live intensive was very intense. It was for the first 4 weeks, it was 3 days a week for 3 hours, an hour each of those days. So 3 hours a week. And then on the 4th to 8th week, it was 1 hour a week that we meted. And it's where we just dived into the coursework, each module specifically. And I had these women crying. I had them reading from their journal. I mean, it was intense, but they had some major breakthroughs. And I got to experience some of your major breakthroughs and your aha moments where you're like, this is it. I get it. I'm a healthy person and I don't eat sugar. And it just, and they were all so lost and confused when they started thinking, how is this ever going? How am I ever going to get there at the end of 8 weeks? I don't see this happening, but it happened, and it happened for you. And your story, your backstory before you even came to me is just amazing. Your transformation, and just watching all of this has been such an honor. So share with the others who are watching right now tonight, and we're going to post this also in the group later so people can watch this who missed the call tonight. Your story, tell us a little bit about your backstory all the way up to when you got to iCake Sugar and how you made it through to here today.
Okay. Well, about 3.5 years ago, I guess it was, I was diagnosed with adrenal fatigue. And it was funny because literally the diagnosis came in the day after I went to dinner with my boss. And she has a lot of autoimmune issues and thyroid issues and so forth. And she started eating and following the autoimmune protocol, AIP diet. And it's extremely restrictive. I mean, you can't have even foods that people consider healthy, like bell peppers. It's just crazy. So we went out to dinner and I sat there the entire time. I just kept saying, I could never do that. I don't know how you're doing that. I applaud you because that's not something I can do. And she's like, Dawn, if you had to, you would. During that same meal, we were talking about our Fitbits and the fact that it keeps track of our sleep. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I'm getting now 7 to 8 hours solid sleep now. And I'm like, is that even possible? Because here it is. I was in bed every night for over 8 hours, but I was only registering 2 to 3 hours of actual real sleep.
Right.
And she's like, Dawn, that can't be right. So I pulled it up and I showed her and she's just like, how are you surviving? And I'm like, I just thought this is the way life is. I didn't know any different. Well, the next day I got my test results back and it said I had adrenal fatigue. And so immediately, I was like, what do I do? So I called my boss because, she's into the healthy lifestyle. You know, she's learning all this stuff, and I know she read up on everything with her autoimmune diseases. So I said, okay, point me to a direction. And she had just read that AIP actually works for adrenal fatigue too. And so she's like, okay, take a day, sit with it, breathe it in, and then we'll get started. I will, by phone, go with you to the grocery store and the whole 9 yards. So that's what I did. You know, this was a Friday. On Sunday, I started eating AIP, and I did it. I mean, I was strict. It was pure willpower because it was so, what I thought of it, impossibly strict.
Right.
But I always felt like I was missing out. Every time we went out to eat, I could eat something. I just had to special request things. And honestly, my food usually tasted better than everybody else's at the table. I mean, my husband and my children even say that. But still, I felt like I was missing out. You know, I couldn't have the desserts. I couldn't have, you know, a lot of stuff, dairy, you know, the whole 9 yards. But I followed it for about 2.5 years. And I lost a ton of inflammation, which 90% of my weight was inflammation.
Yep.
I lost all of the inflammation, but I still felt like I was missing something. But I was like, okay, I'm healing myself. I have gotten to sleep. I'm getting good rest, solid rest. So I'm like, okay, I must have healed my gut. So I went ahead and started, just when we went out to eat, I would add things back that I couldn't have before, including a soda at restaurants. That was like my big, I think, catalyst of jumping off of that wagon of being strict AIP. And so we would go out to eat, and then next thing you know, I would go ahead and have some of the kids' ice cream when I bought that, or my husband's, or I would have pasta again. And, you know, I kept adding things back in. And next thing you know, I'm eating basically the standard American diet again. And I started gaining weight, gaining inflammation, the whole 9 yards again. I found myself right before the pandemic hit, I found myself eating constantly junk foods and having sodas. And I would do it like when I was out and about, because I was like, okay, I can't bring it into the house. I don't know when I can have it again.
Right.
So, you know, I was going and getting it. And next thing you know, I knew I had to do something. Not only had I gained all that weight back, but I was also down on myself. I was frustrated with the whole situation. But I didn't feel like I had the willpower to do it again. And so when I found out about iKick Sugar, I was like, okay, it's only $5. I have $5 to lose, you know? And literally I went into it thinking, you know what? It's not going to work for me, but at least I can say I did it. You know, I tried. Well, I listened to the first module, and then I was like, okay, I don't understand. She doesn't want me to change anything in my diet, but okay. Well, the journaling held me up. I got to be honest. When she said we had a journal, I was like, yeah, that's something I've heard all my life. That's something that I do. I'm a coach. I'm an accountability coach. I have my girls journal. But yet for me, that was, I'm not a journaler. And so she posted, Joyce, I don't know if you remember this, but you posted in the group, everybody take a picture of your journal. Let me see those covers. And so I had this journal, this one. I had it sitting next to my desk. And I was like, okay, I'm going to use this one. It's still empty. So I'm going to use that one. Yes, you have one too.
Who has one? Alex has a journal too?
Alex has a journal just like it.
Oh, look at Barb's. I see yours. Gorgeous, Barb. Love it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see yours, Alex. Do you have one?
Oh, mine's
Hers
in
in
my
her room.
closet, you know,
Okay, all right.
Oh,
We'll give you a pass. A hall pass.
So yeah. So anyway, I was like, okay. So I literally wrote my first journal entry that day.
Wow.
But it still didn't empower me to move on yet. But it did empower me to go ahead and buy the course book. And then I went ahead and printed it and spiralized it. And I was like, okay, it's a step further.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw you were offering the Live Intensive, and I know me. I need the accountability. I need to know somebody is going to be watching what I'm doing and making sure I'm doing it. So I went ahead and I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. But it wasn't starting until June 1st. So I was like, okay, I can put this to the side now. And that's what I did. I just set it to the side and I waited. But then I jumped in, and like Joyce said, there's 3 of us in there. And these girls, I mean, we have our own little texting group and we are there for one another, and we've gotten to know each other. We've not only done the program together, but we've done life together. And it's been amazing. And it's so many tears and so much laughter and just so much excitement. But it held us accountable. I mean, when Joyce tells us in the book to go ahead and get MyFitnessPal, download it, and document how much you're eating right now before you change your diet, I screenshotted it and sent it to Joyce. She saw it. She saw my starting point on my for my scale.
Yeah.
You know, I have a Renpho scale and it has all this information, and so I sent it all to her. You know, I was like, if I'm going to do it, I have to be all in. And honestly, that's what it took. Well, then we got through the coursework and we did the last day before you say you're declaring it. And she said, okay, so the last module is super short. You already know what it's going to say, but go ahead and read it and we'll talk about it on Monday. This was on a Thursday. So before I went to bed that night, I went ahead and read it. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm ready. I know I'm ready this time because I really dug deep, found out where the issues were. And honestly, I think my biggest hang up was the journaling. That is what allowed me to move forward. And as I went through that night, I had decided, okay, I'm giving myself 24 hours because I wanted to make sure it was truly where I was, where I was supposed to go. So I was like, okay, I'm giving myself 24 hours, and then I'm texting Joyce. I got up the next morning and I get a phone call from my landlord. And he says, I'm selling the house. You have 6 weeks to be gone out of that house. We had no intention of moving. We thought we were staying here until we retire. We're retiring within 3 to 4 years. So we thought we were just staying there. We've already been there for 12 years. I was shocked, totally and completely shocked. So my husband and I said, okay, let's sit on it for a day. That's kind of our thing. Let's sit on it for a day, absorb what's going on, and figure out what to do. Well, that night when I went to bed, I was like, okay, I didn't message Joyce. Is it the time to actually declare that I'm sugar-free? And then I said, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's a lifestyle change. It's something that has to stick. It has to be there. So life happens, and this is part of life. So the next morning, I got up. I declared it. I declared it to Joyce, and it happened to be summer solstice, which I didn't even make that connection, and Joyce did, so I will always remember this. And literally since that point, I have been healthy and free of sugar. Has it been perfect? No. Has it been progress? Absolutely. Has it been a big change from before? 100% yes. Yeah. And even bigger than that, others are seeing it. My husband at one day, goodness, I guess it was we had breakfast together. And he looked at me and said, I can't believe you still are going. You have so much energy. Because, I mean, we've been going nonstop. We got rid of tons of stuff from our old house. And he's like, I can't believe you're still moving. I'm having to take a nap after every box now. I'm so tired. And I wasn't. He goes, there must be something to this no sugar thing. So yeah, and the biggest difference though, that this time making these changes compared to when I started the AIP those years ago, is all in the mind, because you know what? I'm honestly pretty much eating the same way I did when I did AIP.
Right.
But I'm not missing it this time.
Right.
Right. And the biggest difference is because before I was always told you can't. You
Mhm.
can't have this. That is not allowed. Now it's, I don't want it. Why do I want to put that in there? Why? I have no desire for it. And that click.
So powerful. So powerful. Just one word, one switch in the word there.
Yes.
How that can change your whole life when you change and switch that mindset and see the difference. I mean, obviously there's a lot of work leading up to that, but that's what that work leads up to get you to see that and realize, just like in my course when I say Dorothy had it all along, she could always just go home. It's like you can always just go home. You've known the answers, you know how to do this. It's not hard to eat healthy. Just don't eat anything in a package and you're fine. And eat real, whole, nutrient rich, dense foods, and you've got it. And it's correcting though that mindset, like that you talked about, that whole experience. Such a powerful story. What a journey you have been on. So what advice would you give? I mean, you mentioned some great things in there already that were key to you, that hopefully a lot of you picked up on, that were moments for Dawn that helped her have her aha moments and things that made her realize, oh, I need to do this. I need to journal. Or for some of you, printing out the course books to be able to see and visualize, depending on what type of learner you are, the type of investment that you have in not the course, but in yourself. Like, are you invested in doing the work? So what advice would you give your fellow tribe sisters here that are working the modules? I know you give us advice all day long in the group, but if you have something to give now.
Absolutely. I would say the biggest thing is just really take advantage of the entire journey. Do each and every module, every single task, even if it sounds like it's something that is totally irrelevant to food, because 90% of it is irrelevant to food.
Uh-huh.
But getting that course book and being able to see that, yes, I have completed every single task, that you're able to mark it off and know that you didn't miss it in the audio, I think is huge. The fact that you can not change your diet
Yeah.
until you're truly ready is big.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you can do the entire course and not change your diet, first off, you're going to want to naturally. There
Right.
will be some things that will naturally change, but you're not going to be consciously making that decision to change until the end, till you're actually ready, so you can work on the mind, the inside, the body.
Yeah.
That's huge. I think also the fact that these little habits, and I think that's why I started doing the challenges in the group, is, I just posted because I needed it. I was not working out. I was not getting enough movement in. So that 3-minute workout challenge was off where I knew I would do it. And I'm a firm believer that if I feel that way, I'm sure there's other people that feel that way too.
Yep.
And if I can just give a reminder to even one person every once in a while, that does me good. That's me. I'm a coach in a servant's heart, and I want to be able to help others. So if I can do that by just sharing what I'm doing, if that helps, that means the world to me. And it makes the difference.
And it means the world to us. I
Thank
think everyone will attest to how much we've appreciated all of your input. And I mean, and you were one of the big motivators that made me see what's happening in this group, and that people are jumping on, and they don't need me. They're doing it. I need you ladies too. You guys hold me accountable, and you keep me fueled and energized. So it's a two-way relationship. So if people didn't catch something that you said there also, I want everyone to understand that what also makes you so amazing is that you are actually an accountability coach. It's what you already do for a living. So, you're already leading and motivating women. What's one thing you notice working with the women? And I think you only work with women, correct? Predominantly, yeah, women. When you're working with them, what do you notice? Is there a theme or something that holds women back from following through with their goals that they're not working on? what's the thing that you see with them?
Two things. Number one, all in the head. You know, we talk ourselves out of things in with our thoughts all day long.
Yeah.
So we need to stop that, you know, that momentum. I think I shared in the group recently. I have several girls that we do this constantly. Their negative self-talk will, instead of empowering them, it does the complete opposite. So, you know, literally bringing themselves out of the moment, snapping their fingers and saying something positive, whether that be a scripture or something else, something that's in truth,
Yep.
to pull them out of that moment is huge. Number two, accountability. So many of us, especially women, are not good about putting ourselves first.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So we have to have somebody who's going to say, did you do it? Check in with them and make sure that it was done. And
Yeah.
I know I need it. That's part of why I do what I do. Because if I'm holding somebody else accountable, I can't hold them accountable if I'm not doing it myself.
Right.
And I need that. I need that visualization. I need to know somebody's counting on me to do that, because yes, we should be able to do it for ourselves because we
Yep.
should have that much self-worth, but we always seem to put everybody else first. So this is a way to ensure that we put in ourselves first. So finding that person that you can have as an accountability partner. I have many people for accountability in my life, and it's different areas of my life. So it's not one person is your be all for accountability. It's finding somebody who is going to help you with that one aspect and moving forward with them. I will tell you guys, and I'll share this in the group, an app I love for accountability, because you can turn it off and turn it on. So that way it doesn't get lost in your Facebook messages, doesn't get lost in email, and doesn't get lost in all your text messages. It's an app called a Voxer. It's a Voxer. And you can leave voice messages. You can send documents. You can send photos. You can also send just text messages. But it's not limited. One of the things about Facebook messages, several of my girls want to send me messages through Facebook, and I just like, please don't. But I lose them. But the voice messaging on Facebook is only 1 minute long.
Right.
I'm a talker.
Me too.
And I can't leave just a 1 minute message. It doesn't happen. Voxer, it's unlimited. And it's free. You know, they have a paid version, but you don't need it. Free works. And it's great for accountability partners, because if you even have more than one person, you can group together and just send a message saying, hey, I did this today, you know, and just checking in. How's your day going? Or if you know something's going on with that person, you could just say, hey, just want to let you know I was thinking and praying for you just now. I know today's hard for you,
Right.
you know, whatever. But that kind of accountability is huge.
And I think I'm starting to see that. I mean, I don't know, but with a lot of you women in the group, that, oh, they're making friendships outside of the group. You know, you guys are sending each other gifts outside of the group. Like, there's some real love going on here.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I hope that, I mean, it's got to be that you're also just being accountable for each other and supporting each other and going even further than just the group, but then talking to each other and getting to even a deeper level of a relationship. And that I know is happening, and it's so powerful to see that and to know that's happening. It's because it's what we all need. We're just humans, are just not meant to do life alone. You know, we are by nature, we are just intended to have community, this community, and be connected. And people who say, oh, you know, I say I'm an introvert, but I still need it. You know, that's why I love being, I mean, I spend too much time in the Facebook group. I got to get some of the business going too, to let those $5 people come in want to. But it's because I love seeing that, and I get such joy and energy out of, you know, hearing from everybody and their experiences. And you guys lift me up so much, and it's an amazing thing. And like you said, it's community and it's accountability and it's making those connections. So if you haven't already, if you're listening or watch this later, haven't met up with someone yet in the group, like even on a private level, like you start texting or you have your own private Facebook or you become friends on Facebook outside of the community, I encourage it, start talking in the group and be like, hey, and send them a friend request. Can I send you a friend request? And build those relationships, because it's just so powerful to have that. It's key, because we get a lot in the group, people saying, oh, I'm, surrounded by all my family and friends who just eat sugar. And I feel like the lone person here in this big battle. But you don't have to be the lone person. And that's the key thing, is surrounding yourself with like-minded people with the proper mindset and healthy. So you can talk about recipes, you can talk about mindset, you can talk about positivity, you can talk about, oh, I just watched, this video and this documentary, or I'm going to listen to this podcast, and you get excited about healthy things. If your friends around you don't want that, then you find friends in the group to make friends outside of the group. So that's so key. And I know that you're instrumental in doing that also and encouraging that with the group. So Dawn, I have one last question for you before we wrap this up. Do you officially accept the invitation of being the first I Kick Sugar ambassador?
Yes, absolutely.
Yay! Woo, woo, woo. So excited. You heard it, ladies, first. She accepted. I want to thank all of you for being on the call tonight, cheering on Dawn, welcoming her on. Remember, all of you who are listening tonight or going to listen later, if you're passionate and you're committed to building a future for yourself, if you're starting to get into this whole healthy lifestyle and it's vibing with you, and to know that if you're committed to building a future for yourself with the IKS tribe and the brand, and you're ready to take nutrition and health and your happiness to the next level, if you like helping and serving others, you obviously have to do that, others in our community, well, then you guys, just one of you might be ready and might be for our next ambassador in our ambassador program. So remember, I'm always watching you ladies, keeping an eye on you. To see Dawn's bio, we now have the main website. The I Kick Sugar website has an ambassador page where through time, as we get ambassadors coming on board, and it is going to be a very elite program, that, and if you think this is something that you want to do, reach out to me at some point. But on the website, you will see under the About section, there'll be an ambassador link, drop down. And you can click on that drop down. You can read more about Dawn. You can read about the program. And just keep sharing the love, sharing with each other, sharing your journeys. I love checking in every day with all of you and seeing all of you in the Facebook group community. And I thank you all for being here, for wearing your swag tonight and being team players. Woo woo! I love it. And I love you ladies so much. If I stay on any longer, I'm going to start crying, because it's just, you've all moved, touched, and inspired me so much. I never thought I would be here today where I'm at, with a group of 600 plus women. We now have over 2,000 women who've gone through the course. It's unreal. Or maybe they haven't gone through it, but they've got it, right? They took their first step, right? They know that they're a sugar addict and they need to clean up sugar. And I hope that they come into this group at some point, because that's really where the magic happens. And I see that from people who buy it, to then the people who actually join the group, to even for the majority, the people who are the most active and the people who've had the most success. Not them saying that people can't without just the $5 audiobook, or now it's $14, that the course books really help too, because it just solidifies and you're seeing it, you're looking at it, you're reading, writing. For me, I'm a visual person, so I like to make that connection. I like to write notes. And so that's crucial and key also, all of that. But I thank you all. I wish you all the best on your I Kick Sugar journey to health and happiness. We're going to start having more of this. And just for your FYI, yeah, I see you, Barb, getting all excited. I might have set up the Zoom tonight not properly. I might be doing it as a webinar. So I'm learning at all of this. I'm running an online empire and I don't know how to do all this. Isn't this awesome? You just have to learn as you go. So thanks for your patience, because I want at some point also to where we can interact and I can hear you ladies and talk and make sure that everybody can see everybody and that it's really a good interaction. So I'm working on that. We have a lot of exciting other things in the makings for iKick Sugar. So stay tuned and stay active. So, all right, all, wish you well. Good night and be well.